If you like talking,
Women,
Ladies,
men,
topic,
conversations.
and occasional uninformed politics,
multiple talking women is for you.
Hit it! Okay, everybody, it's, you know me, it's Paula Gherkin. We're back here with another multiple talking women. And you guys also introduce yourselves.
Oh, well, hi, I'm Lana, and as you know, I'm a woman of the world. I am so excited to be announcing our guest today, but first, Felicity, why don't you fill in?
Yeah, I'll chime in and just say I'm Felicity Bramblebush, and we are so pleased and absolutely thrilled to be joined by the one, the only KATHRYN HAHN today. Welcome, KATHRYN.
I've heard.
Please excuse me. My pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you. You know, I have to just off the top say that my platform kind of in the world is creams, lotions, and skincare. And your skin, we'll get to your talent because your talent is unmatched, but your skin's is crazy good. And I know people aren't seeing this, but I just want to give you a congratulations for that. You know, you have this beautiful natural skin. And for me, that's really synonymous with success.
Me too. And thank you so much for noticing it. It's been difficult to not be on camera as much, and so I really appreciate it, even off camera, just to say it out loud. That yes, my skin is luminous, and it's not inexpensive.
Well, you make it look easy. It just comes natural to you.
Now, a big reason why we love to do this show with people of your caliber is because we understand and accept that people, celebrities we want to learn how you do it because you do everything, frankly, better. And we want to know, so you've had this downtime, and have you done multiple things to your face?
Yes, I have used this downtime to do nothing but things to my face, and then hire people to do the various jobs around my home. So it's been very relaxing. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it shows you.
I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that it's been all relaxation. I have to, for example, make sure that I'm taking medicine in a timely way and in not a way that makes me, batshit to my children.
I can relate to that because the medicine journey is real. Paula, you were going to say something?
Well, I just want to know, I don't know if you ever heard of Wendy McLennan Covey. We had her. And she does that thing where what does she do on her face? She said she piles a bunch of stuff on at night. So she puts a thick.
It's called a glazed donut.
She glazes herself at night. Do you do anything like that? Are you glazing yourself or?
Yes. Well, it helps with the healing process. I like just a big tub of Vaseline. I don't know if you remember Vaseline.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Love Vaseline for everything. It covers a multitude of sins. And what I do is I just take 2 scoops and I just put it on top of my face. I don't usually like to even rub it in. I just like to take as if it was pats of butter and just kind of leave it on my face like that.
And now, how is your, I don't know if this is too forward, but how does your partner feel about sleeping next to just an oil slick?
You know what? Can I tell you something? He loves it. He really does. It's been actually fantastic. But like I said before, I'm not sleeping with anyone at the moment. So I'm keeping it. This is my time.
Yes, as it should be. I know people are getting the idea that we're very superficial, but actually Felicity and I have journalism degrees. Paula, let's go to the beginning with KATHRYN and when she really started.
Yeah, I want to know, you were in Illinois, is that right? As a child?
Close. I was in Ohio, and I was in Illinois, then moved to Ohio, then moved back to Illinois.
What was little KATHRYN HAHN? When did she say, "Hey, I think I might be pretty good at this"?
Little KATHRYN HAHN was very young. She really loved Little House on the Prairie, and I loved what's his name, who also advertised the cameras. He was really hot stuff. Who played Paul?
Highway to Heaven. Got
Michael Landon.
Woo! Loved Michael Landon.
Yeah,
loved Michael Landon.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
So he was my way in. Really, was through. I owe it all to Michael Landon.
Michael Landon was your door.
He was the portal to my creative my creative journey.
No, but you were,
Great.
as a young KATHRYN Hahn, you thought maybe one day I want to grow up and bed Michael Landon, or I want to do what Michael Landon does.
She was a child.
Yes. But I did have special feelings for Michael
That's
Landon
what I thought.
as a child.
Of course.
That's normal. That's normal.
Yes.
Yes.
She's an early bloomer like myself. I was also really early
Paula.
bloomer.
Paula.
Yeah, very early bloomer.
Very early. So I have to also really, really admire her handiwork. Paula did some shelving for me for my closet, and it's really holding up.
Oh.
Yeah, I just would still love to get paid. I'm waiting on my second.
Well, we'll
installment.
see. We'll see,
right.
Paula.
All right. Okay, so you're little. You love Michael Landon, and you're like, maybe I want to do that. What's step one? You tell your parents. How do you start to? Do you do a play? What do you do?
Yes. Step one is I do a play. Step two, I just leave home. Yeah.
What age did you leave home?
7 years old.
Whoa.
And I just trotted the boards. You know, I set off on a journey and I never looked back. And I actually was a curtain puller at the Cleveland Playhouse.
Wow.
But I never actually got to pull any actual curtains by the time I got there, which was very disappointing.
I have heard tell that you were on some sort of hideaway television show.
Puppet show.
Yes, it was called Hickory Hideout. And it was me and two squirrel puppets, Nutso and Shirley Squirrely.
Oh.
And there was a puppet who was an owl who was called Know-It Owl.
Oh,
Now that's cute.
That's
it was
clever.
Very, very cute. So I played a character named Jenny.
Oh.
And it was just a public access show.
And what kind of child was Jenny? Was she a precocious, curious child?
She was precocious and she was rebellious at the same time. She asked a lot of questions that got her into trouble.
Ooh.
She was a forward-thinking woman because women sometimes are told to keep their mouth shut.
This is which is how Felicity grew up. And I think how she teaches her children.
That's exactly right. Speak when spoken to.
That's right.
Listen, how did the other kids on the playground feel knowing that they were at school with, Jenny from Hickory Dickory Dock?
Yes, it was intimidating. And I really had to, at that age, definitely wrap myself in a bubble of just humility.
Yes.
Because I didn't want anyone feeling uncomfortable around me. I understood why they would.
Sure.
And also puppets are scary. So, I wanted to make sure that people felt that they could still be my friend.
Speaking of being humble, I want to get real for a moment because you actually went to Northwestern and then Yale. When I saw that, I was like, well, I feel like KATHRYN's talent oozes from just natural. Like you could have maybe not gone to those schools and just been able to straddle comedy and drama, brilliant like you do. But it's pretty cool that you also went to these schools. Any fun stories about these really amazing places?
To go to school for acting for that long takes a certain amount of low self-esteem in order to think that you really need just that one more year before you can try it on your own. So what I like to do is I waited until the last possible second until I got headshots. And it was really all of my schooling was about landing that perfect headshot because you only need one.
Yes.
That's true. Wait, so is that real that you, the whole time, you get it, you land a puppet show and you still think to yourself, but I'm not good enough. I'm going to go to school for a lot of years. So that you kind of almost hid away at school.
Yes.
To not face like going out into the real world and trying to get a job. Is that right?
When I moved to New York, well, there's a lot of time between the puppet show and New York.
I would imagine.
Oh, interesting.
I mean,
Right.
I know how young I do look right now. If you can see, there's a lot of Vaseline on the lens.
Sure.
But there was some time. And in that time, I just didn't get any work.
Ooh,
Really?
And so I thought the next best thing would be to take out a shit ton of student loans.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that was but it also was one of the best 3-year chunks of my entire life was that time at school where I wasn't about making money. It was just about
Doing the work.
doing the
learning.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think we like to hear a little bit sometimes because Felicity and I have struggled deeply with self-esteem issues. Paula, not so much. She thinks she's great. But you're this vibrant woman who's killing it pretty much on all cylinders. She is very humble, guys. And it's a little bit off-settling because she's kind of in some of our minds like the queen of being able to do all of this. But do you ever struggle with like any self-esteem issues?
No.
That would make sense.
I think that is maybe a secret. I just that's never been a weak spot for me is self-esteem. Self-pity? Yes.
There we go. All right.
Yes.
Someone else gets a part you want. Can you?
And
you
then
really beat yourself up?
I get very upset, and then I have to take care of myself. But self-esteem, not so much. Self-pity, lots of it.
Okay.
Well, I think, you
I'm
have
still working on that.
Oh, really?
For myself.
Yeah.
Well,
I need more of it.
that's good to hear because, as a mother, you're a mother. I have 12 children, but I don't
You look amazing.
Thank you so much. But I don't do nearly the things that you do. Like if I can just, pack a couple lunches, put a couple ponytails in, maybe clean some yogurt out of the rug, I'm done for the day. But you have a project after project after project, and you're raising children, keeping the household. How do you do it? What is the secret?
Yes. Well, how does one do it all? How do we do it all?
How do we do it all?
I don't know. I would say try to have another life. And when you are in one, just dream about the other. And when you're in the other, dream about this one. But never be really present, because that's where it gets depressing. Because it doesn't never feel as good as it should.
Okay, so in between puppet time and college, you are, you're not landing any gigs. You're not getting any jobs, you say. So you go and you do some college. When is it that you say after college? Is it a job that you get? Is it something that makes you say, oh, you know what? Whoa, hey, I think I might be able to do this thing. It might be happening.
Yes. I got a job as a grief counselor at the morgue.
For real?
On a show called Crossing Jordan.
Crossing Jordan. What a freaking role. I mean, that takes something. I think that almost sums her up in a way, to the grief counselor at a morgue.
At a morgue.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that is a role that exists in real life.
Maybe. No.
I don't think it does. But I will say that as a young performer youngish, I was 49. But at the time, when I first got out here, I had the opportunity then to kind of work against amazing guest actors who came in and had to be delivered the most traumatic news that they had ever received. And I would just watch and listen and learn.
And
wow.
if I can remember, you were able to like elicit this sympathy for them and compassion, and it was dramatic, but there was always a little tinkling of humor bubbling underneath in an appropriate way.
Yes, she had a lot of, let's say, tattoos. Yeah. She was an eccentric grief counselor. She also got it during night. She became a grief counselor during night school, because when we first met Lily, she was just the intake person. Right. But then she got all of her tattoos removed and became a grief counselor, I think, in season 3.
Wow.
Which was great.
Really great.
Pretty great.
Really.
Wow. And then you play this grief counselor, and then kind of you're off to the races. I mean, just your IMDb is like bam, 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 bam. You're going and you're going. Is that how it worked?
Yes, I appreciate it. It did go like that. It was bam, bam, bam. It really was. It never stopped. I went from the grief counselor to there was a best friend phase. Then I was pregnant. then, there's a lot of different phases that I was able to kind of work through.
Lana and I are still trying to figure out acting. I think probably it's not going to work out for us. But
I say never say never.
Well, thank you for saying that. But if you're sitting across, to go back to Crossing Jordan, to cross back into Crossing Jordan. So when someone is sitting across from you and you've just given them the worst news of their life, and they are really going through it, trying to process this, and it's a performance. Are you ever so caught up in the moment you think, who am I? What is that you are lost in your emotion and you can't understand what is real, what is not real? Is this how acting works?
Felicity, I feel like I've met a kindred spirit, because that is exactly what it is. I have lost myself. I don't know where the center is anymore. I can't help, but I just am completely there with the person. I follow them home. I wonder how they're doing. I am 100%, they talk about the method. I don't even know what that means, because it's life.
Yeah. You may not know this, KATHRYN, but Felicity and I met in a Simi Valley production of Cats. And she and I were both cast as Jellicle Cat's background. And even then, she and I had a hard time being in the moment. We were waving at friends in the audience. So being able to be in the moment, I would say, that's where you're really able to almost be in a meditative space in a lot of your roles. You really become these people.
Yes.
Yes, that is a very deep question. And I would also say that, yes, meditation, it is like you are in a fever dream or a trance space, for sure.
Yes.
Or taking some sort of hallucinogenic.
Yes.
But you haven't. You can still drive home.
Wow.
Do you, though, enjoy any kind of drugs like that, just in life?
Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Not on the regular, but
I want to do the mushroom, psilocybin, ketamine, and everything for this with a psychologist one day, but that's a story for another time.
Please tell us that story. I want to hear about. I'm also very curious about this cold plunging that people are doing all the time, because I hate the cold.
Mm-hmm. I went to buy some sleep help because I have the menopause, and I was.
Oh, so do I.
Yes, it's really fun and great. And the guy at the Whole Foods says, but, don't buy anything here, just cold plunge. It raises your serotonin. And I was like, that doesn't sound that easy, but maybe.
You know what? Maybe it also does not sound that easy to keep a plunge pool that cold in Southern California right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can install one over the weekend.
Oh,
pretty easily. So just let me know.
All I need is a barrel, Paula.
That's all I do. I only do a barrel. Yeah, I do a barrel. It's got a little steps up to the side, a pickle barrel, a large pickle barrel.
Just for one, because I don't want to share that time with anybody.
No, I don't use chlorine in it, so you can't really share it with anyone because it's just.
Ooh, my own.
You're stewing in your own juices, really.
But it's cold, so it kills it.
Sure, that's right. Kills everything.
Right? Doesn't it kill it? You never have to change cold plunges water.
Never.
You would think so.
I think that's the case.
Okay, so here's my question. At some point, you're doing your thing, you're booking your roles. Are you ever though, just you have a minute where you say, oh God, things aren't going good. This is tough. This is whether it's you're up for something and you don't get it, you don't reach something that you've been trying to do, and you feel like, hey, maybe I'm just going to give up. Maybe I'm going to go get a job at a Jamba Juice or something.
All the time. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Still, even now.
And that's what keeps you on your toes. I think that's what keeps you in the game, is because, let's face it, this is not a secure business.
No.
I don't know if it's different for talk shows or, for hosts.
Yeah, no, not for us. We're guaranteed a great job for life here.
You have a tenured contract.
Easy.
True. Yeah.
It's like a Supreme Court justice. You're just now forever, always going to be in
We're
these
just
squares.
always going to be podcast hosts. Yeah. That's it. Easy breezy.
That's right.
So what do you do? How do you build yourself back up when you're like, I got no, this is what I love to do. So I'm going to do it. How do you get yourself going?
I think it all goes back to the psychedelic drugs. I just I just take a fistful of mushrooms and I just go door to door and I see who will answer. And I just start doing monologues. And some people will be thrilled enough to reply.
God, that
And then I find my collaborators that way. That's how I find, oh, you see me. And then let's go on a journey together because you're clearly stuck. You're clearly out of your mind on mushrooms. And I'm like, maybe, but you see me. So then we start a journey together.
Two things. One is serious, but one I have to get out there. KATHRYN and I have shared an ear, nose, and throat guy, Dr. Schnickman, but we don't have to get into that. But he'll give you a great shot to make you feel better if you're congested.
For anything, really.
But if you're even not congested, but you just need a lot of energy for something you're doing, you can go there. But you are an actress for whom you said, oh, I was working with all these great people, but I feel like that happened. Now you're the one that other people, you're in this echelon of like, wow, and you're
People
the
wanna
one
work
that
with
people
you.
want to work with now.
Yeah.
That's quite a great thing.
Well, I don't even know, but it goes like, who the hell knows? Can't hold on to anything because it's all, a Ferris wheel.
Now,
you just don't know.
If I may, Paula, I just wanted to spend a little time on my favorite show, WandaVision.
Oh,
yeah.
Because
I don't like a lot of TV, but I liked that show. I'll tell you, I never want to be an actor. I don't get it. But I only time I'd be an actor if I got to be a witch.
Oh, well, if you ever want to talk shop, because that's what I've realized is something that happens. You go from, in my case at least, it was from friend to pregnant best friend to horny, sexually frustrated wife to witch.
Yeah.
And it just kind of happens.
Yeah, but if you can play all those parts.
I'm trying not to read too much into it, but it seems to be a trajectory.
If you can play all those parts, let me tell you, you could still be horny wife. Let's get into the sexual parts because I really enjoyed, some of the programs you've done. I love Dig, Mrs. Fletcher. I could really relate to just being like, I haven't seen women kind of owning the frustrations of their sexuality and just owning it on television a lot. You're really breaking the rules in the best way.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Lana told us in private, she said that she's seen you naked in a lot of your shows. Is that correct?
Oh, I did not say a lot of her shows.
Well, I think you're just focusing in on it a lot.
Well,
that's what it seems like to me.
I'm a very free person. I feel like this is my freaking body. So let's use it as part of the tool. And if you can do that, then it goes away from being like, oh, I'm naked to like, this is part of my arsenal.
Yes. Yes. I feel like it had been and will continue to be some tools in my toolbox.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're comfortable. You're like, hey, who cares?
Yes. I mean, I've had 2 children. It's fine.
Now, if someone came to you tomorrow and said, lady, I have a role for you. It involves full nudity, full bush. Would you say, sign me?
While jogging, and you have to be jogging the whole time.
Well, I mean, if they said it in that voice with that tone,
exactly.
How could I turn that down?
That's right.
Jeez.
Sure.
I mean, I
have a question about Yale really quick.
Sure.
Because I feel in some ways like a person like you is born with the talent. What do you think you get from a place like this, though, obviously, like Yale, that you bring into your work versus how much of it is just you? I mean, obviously, you're not going to say, oh, they didn't give me nothing. But what is it like to be at a place like that?
What I learned at that place in particular, besides being able to, I mean, all must know it from groups that you're with, or that you perform, or that you are with. But I definitely learned like the art of stillness for myself because I just gave too much energy out into the wrong. I just worked too hard turns out.
I feel like that's kind of a huge mic drop for like life also, like knowing where to put your energy. I went to the University of the Panama Canal for women, only women, women's journalism. So they were having us run. It was almost like hamster wheel. So I like this thought of really giving your energy to just, you can't give it all 24/7.
No.
You have to have, I imagine, a balance, a work-life balance. And I'm sorry, I'm going to circle back to this, to feed these children, because that's the focus of my life. And when you're working on a project and you walk through your door, do you say, no more of that, and now it's all about you, Michael and Sarah? Whatever your children are named, I don't know.
It's Michael and Sarah. How did you know it? Nailed it at one. When I walk through the door, I am still in the scene I just did. So they have learned to adapt.
Fascinating.
They know how to, in whatever project I'm working on, they will call me by the person's name.
Oh, I love that.
There will be food out. If this person is not a mother, they will just be without a mother for the time that I'm working on it, or what have you.
I will say, I know people who know her kids, and I just have to say they're two of the most they're just pretty special, great kids. So that's another huge congratulations on that. It's kind of like, wow.
It's hard to create decent human beings.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to create. And you look at these two and you're like, okay, I think the world's going to be not just okay, but good.
Well, that's good news.
I think the same about someone I know that might be related to you.
Maybe.
Anna.
Maybe. That's true.
Love that person.
Well, something we like to ask everybody, because we are, believe it or not, time flies when you're having fun. We're getting to that time. We like to ask everybody. Yeah,
it's rough.
We like to ask everybody, if you were to give advice, someone starting out, someone maybe struggling, waiting those tables, maybe they're auditioning, maybe they're not, or just anyone going for their dreams that might be a little more difficult than some other dreams. What's your advice?
I would say that who you are is enough, that you don't have to push, that actually that's what's going to be the thing that's the most attractive, that trying to be something that you think has been that worked before is it's just not a good use of your time. That it didn't happen for nothing. I didn't really start working until I was in my 30s, and then I didn't at all. And so and it wasn't until after I had kids that stuff really started to happen. So you never know. All that kind of storytelling that we have, especially about women, is to when it's supposed to happen, or what happens if it doesn't happen by then, or what, all that stuff is just old noise. I mean, I have to keep telling myself that too, because it's so ingrained in us to believe that. I mean, especially as we're going through this hot portal of menopause, no pun intended, but that there's such exciting shit on the other side of it. I have to keep telling myself that too, that it's that's still a thrilling time to be a woman person, and that all those stories are it's intense when you realize how much we've taken them on, in our own belief system about what we are capable of doing. So anyway,
that is really, again, another mic drop. I feel like, what if on the other side of the menopause portal is the best ever? I mean, we've been told all this stuff to keep us down. Also, being yourself, I'm myself. People ask me where I'm from. I'm from everywhere. But KATHRYN HAHN, if she had tried to be someone else, the world would have lost out. And everybody knows KATHRYN HAHN for who she is, purely unique, and it works. I love that piece of advice.
That's right. Guys, I think it's time. We just got to say thank you. Do you have anything else you want to say, KATHRYN HAHN?
I'm just honored beyond to have been a part of this. You're beautiful women. Please continue to get along. Don't fight.
Well, Paula's can be difficult, really hard on us, but we're trying.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can smell the tension, but it's a long way to go together.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
It's true. And we're working together forever because it's a forever position, as you clarified. Forever.
it is.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it. Okay.
KATHRYN
Thank you,
HAHN,
KATHRYN
everybody.
HAHN.
Yay! All right.
Multiple Talking Women is hosted by Lauren Burns, Ariane Price, and Lisa Shurga, and produced by Cara Fano and Amelia Misko at Stampede Ventures for the Stampede Podcast Network. Okay, I'm done now.